Hey guys, it's been a while. You know the drill. We're going to talk about a lot of movies today. I want to do my best to keep it quick, to keep it concise, so I don't go off on lots of tangents. So I'm really going to do my best to keep these reviews quick, depending on how much I have to say on them and how recently I saw them. So I got 12 movies. I was originally going to talk about 13, but I want to save this specific movie F1 for another time because I'd like to give it another rewatch because of how cool the experience is. And I just never got around to it when I first saw it. But the films I want to talk about today are The Naked Gun, Nobody 2, Honey Don't, Caught Stealing, Him, Demon Slayer the movie, Infinity Castle, The Smashing Machine, Roofman, One Battle After Another, Tron Ares, Shelby Oaks, and Chainsaw Man the movie, Reze Arc. So let's start off with The Naked Gun, directed by Akiva Schaffer. It is a sequel, a reboot, what have you, of the original Naked Gun trilogy. I've only seen the first one. I think it's hysterical. I watched it a little before I went to see this film on my birthday, along with Nobody 2, and I had a blast with it. It's super fun and extremely stupid in the sense that all the jokes are nonsensical and stupid, but that's the point of it. Like someone, like a bartender, cleaning a glass, and when he sets it down, the glass keeps turning on its own. Stupid gags like that. Someone saying, "Would you like to take a seat?" and the person actually takes the seat. A bunch of running gags where people just keep getting coffees out of nowhere, like they're handed a cup of coffee while they're driving or something. Stupid jokes like that, like super on the nose jokes like that, are extremely funny in this film. It's pulled off very well, and you go to this film for the jokes, for the dumb, nonsensical jokes that make no sense, but the fact that it don't make sense is what makes it funny. And Liam Neeson is incredible in the film. Leslie Nielsen portrayed Frank Drebin in the original films. Liam Neeson plays his son, Frank Drebin Jr., in this new film. And I can't believe they didn't do this sooner because he has like the perfect mannerism for that. Like that somewhat stone cold, sarcastic, trying to play the straight guy sort of character, but it's all a joke. He has that persona. He does it so perfectly well. I don't have a whole lot to say on it. It's just that it's an extremely funny film, and I had a blast with it because of how nonsensical and stupid it is, and just how many jokes they're able to pack into it. I was kind of worried that it would just be too much stupid shit like that, but it totally works out at the end. I think The Naked Gun is an extremely funny film. I'd like to give it another watch once I can because I had a blast, and I need to watch the other films too. I don't know if it's called 2.5 or 22.5 or 33.5 or whatever, the second and third film in the series, but the first film and this film are very damn good. I'm giving The Naked Gun a B plus. Just know that it's extremely stupid, but in the correct way. That like you're not laughing at it, you're laughing with. Well, you're laughing at it, but you're laughing with it too. It's not a bad movie at all. It's really funny. It looks good. Just a lot of fun, stupid jokes throughout the film that just make you laugh your ass off. I had a blast with this film. Then the other film I saw on my birthday, Nobody 2, directed by Timo Jahanto. Nobody 2 is the sequel to Nobody, a film that I very much enjoyed. John Wick-esque action style stuff like that. Hutch Mansell, he's portrayed by Bob Odenkirk. He's just as kick-ass as he in the first film. He goes on a vacation with his family, but he gets caught up in a drug ring that goes on at their vacation place. And it's just more action, over the top, nonsensical shit where one man is just able to take on an army of people. And it's so fucking cool to see. I loved it. It's just fun, all around fun action. I went to go see it a second time, but I had to leave early because I had to go do something. But I just wanted to go see a movie just to see it again. I saw this on my birthday as well, but I try to see it a second time later on down the line. But it's really fun, super action packed. Not as gritty as the first film. I think the first film might be just a tad better, I think. But they're both the same quality as in terms of like fun action. I just think the first film was a little more gritty and serious. But this film is just more fun and nonsensical with the action set pieces that they're in. But I do like just how fun and insane this film can get with its action set pieces. And seeing Christopher Lloyd shoot guns is always a blast to me. I don't have a whole lot of complaints with this film. It's just extremely simple. The villain is kind of cool, but just kind of whatever. Like the main villain of the film, she's just there to be there. And all of the characters have their fun little moments where they can fight, they stand up to the bad guys, yada yada. But it does exactly what it wants to do: provide fun, entertaining action scenes, and that's basically it. It's just John Wick esque action scenes. You know, super violent and bloody, and guns and blood and knives and swords, and it's awesome. I'd love to really watch it again just because of how much fun I had with it. It's just on par with the first Nobody. I just think the first Nobody is a little more gritty. I'm giving Nobody 2 a B. I just had a blast with it. I loved it. It was awesome. Then our next film we're going to talk about is Honey Don't, directed by Ethan Coen, one of the Coen brothers. And this film is an interesting case because although I enjoyed it overall, there are a lot of critiques I have with it, a lot of criticisms, mainly involving the story. Because the film looks good, the cast all does a great job. The story is about, and I'm going to read the long line here: Honey O'Donoghue, a small town private investigator, delves into a series of strange deaths tied to a mysterious church. So I think seeing the trailer, you're going to get a very specific idea of what the film might be about, but it subverts your expectations, and you're really not entirely sure what's going on in the film. And what I liked about the film is that it looks great. The cast all does a great job. I just want to go over my review real quick. I'm just going to read my review I have on Letterboxd. I like this, but it is quite strange. It's all over the place, and I wanted more out of the story and development of characters. But it's a simple and enjoyable time despite how quiet it is. The cast is all great, and it's a damn good looking film, but I just wanted more out of the story, to be honest. It doesn't delve deeper, and maybe it didn't need to, but it seems very surface level. So, reading that review, thinking back when I watched the film, it's interesting because I feel that the story isn't focused enough. There's a lot of strings in this story that involve our main character, Honey, that involves her love character portrayed by Aubrey Plaza, it involves her sister, her niece, other characters, the mysterious church that's going on, this mysterious drug thing that's going on. There's a lot of strings, and they all feel very loosely connected. And I said quiet because there's not like a lot of loud action scenes going on, or not a lot of heated dialogue exchange moments going on. It's just kind of quiet and chill and laid back. This is a very non-serious film to watch and zone out to. And I liked that about the film, that it doesn't take itself so seriously. But like I said, I would have liked more out of the story. I would have liked for it to be more focused. Not that I wanted it to have a point, because not all movies have to have a point. Sometimes they can just be enjoyable, which this film was. But I just wish there was a little more oomph to the story, because when you find out certain things that happen in the film, you feel kind of misled with this red herring going on. But the payoff to it doesn't really seem all too strong. But I did enjoy the film overall. I just wanted a little more things out of the characters, but everyone does a great job. Everyone's, from what I've heard, everyone's standout like character performance in this film was Charlie Day. He's this cop that keeps hitting on Honey, and it's really funny. Like, he just doesn't get the clue that she's not into him, but he just keeps doing it, and it's fucking hysterical. I don't know why. Like, it's just because Charlie Day is just a fucking hysterical guy. But Margaret Qualley, she does a great job. Aubrey Plaza, I think a lot of people really don't look at her as like a great actress. I think she's a stunning actress. Emily the Criminal, Ingrid Goes West, but people just look at her as the Parks and Recreation girl, which she's stunning in that show as well. But she's actually really damn good in this film. I've liked her other performances that I've seen, but she does something incredibly different than I've seen her do in other films, and I quite enjoyed her performance here. Chris Evans is in the film as well, and I think people are going to feel misled with the way his character progression goes. I certainly did, but I did find his character pretty funny and entertaining with what happens. But like I said, I just wanted more. I think it's just because of the subject matter going on and how many different things are going on at the same time. I just wanted a little more. But like I said, I enjoyed the film. I'd like to watch it again, but I'm not gonna rush to it soon. I gave the film a B minus. It's good, but I like I said, I wanted more. But like, it's well made, it's well shot. Oh yeah, it's a little too horny. Um, I didn't expect it to be that horny. Wow, that was something. I'm watching. I'm just like, whoa, okay. I didn't expect to see that from that actress person. Okay, but no. I enjoyed the film. I did. I think it's good. Okay, the next film is Caught Stealing, directed by Darren Aronofsky, who's I've only seen one film from him, The Whale, but I gotta get on this guy's filmography because Requiem for a Dream, Mother, Black Swan. I missed my chance to see Black Swan when it returned in theaters this year. Um, yeah, I've heard great things about this director, and based on what I've seen, he's two for two because Caught Stealing is awesome. Burned out ex baseball player Hank Thompson, portrayed by Austin Butler, unexpectedly finds himself embroiled in a dangerous struggle for survival amidst the criminal underbelly of late 1990s New York City, forced to navigate a treacherous underworld he never imagined. For a while, I was kind of thinking about Austin Butler, like, oh, he's the Elvis guy, and I heard that he said he couldn't get off of his Elvis accent, his Elvis voice. So I heard people were saying that he was just doing that to get the Oscar for Best Actor, or whatever. So I was just like, I don't know how I feel about that. But he's great in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he really surprised me in Dune Part Two. He's fucking awesome in that film. But I've never seen him as a lead man. Like, I've never seen any film where he was a lead man before. So I was very intrigued by what he would do with this film. But he won me over with Dune Part Two, and he's continuing to win me over with Caught Stealing because he's incredible. He has a great energy for a lead man, and the progression this character goes through in this film is great. I loved this film. I think it's one of the best of 2025. It's really fun, action packed, very brutal, unexpectedly brutal at points, and sometimes it's I would have liked to linger on that brutality here and there, but it serves its purpose, and it does serve to be a bigger impact later on down the film when other things are revealed in the film. But no, everyone's great in the film. Matt Smith, he's a fan favorite for the character he portrays with like this mohawk that he wears and his punk style. It's really fun to see, and his character is just really funny as hell. Regina King, she's pretty damn good in this film. Kind of deceptive, kind of intimidating. Zoe Kravitz, for the time that she's in the film, she's pretty entertaining. Vincent D'Onofrio, I didn't really recognize him, but afterwards I'm like, oh shit, that's him. Fuck, he fucking melted into this role. But no, I really enjoyed Caught Stealing. Uh, in the hands of another director, I think this would have been extremely bland. But there are so many interesting camera angles and camera movements, especially with the energy that Austin Butler brings to this film, where it just makes it so much more impactful. There's a shot where there's like a low angle shot of Austin Butler's character hiding underneath a window while someone's looking through said window, and it's framed so damn cool where I thought, okay, and the way the camera moves to get to that point too, I thought, oh shit, this is fucking intense. In any other director's hand, I think would have been super fucking boring. But because it was in Darren Aronofsky's hand, it just made it all that much more fun and energetic. There's a fun energy to this film, and especially with Austin Butler's character. Sorry, something fell in the back. I don't know if you heard that, but especially with Austin Butler's character, with what he has to go through, the shit that happens to him, especially in his past, the way that gets brought up, like his past baseball career, and this infatuation he has with the San Francisco Giants. Funny enough, him living in New York, it brings another angle to the film that's really fun and interesting. And the play on words for the title "Caught Stealing," how that is placed in the film with past actions of this character, and especially what he's doing in the present in this film. It's great. I loved it. I think this is a damn good film, one of the best of the year. I'm stuck between an A minus and an A. I definitely need to watch it again. And it flew by pretty quick. It's only 107 minutes. What's that? Just over an hour and a half. An hour 40. It's not that long of a film. It flies by so fucking quick. I just kind of wished the first act kind of went by a little quicker. That's just me. But I still really thought the film was damn good. I really want to watch it again. It's just so fucking entertaining. It was something I was looking forward to a whole lot, and it didn't disappoint. I really fucking loved it. Then we got a film that I was kind of looking forward to, but as I saw every trailer that came out, I was thinking, okay, I get it. That's exactly what the film is going to be. It is Him, directed by Justin Tipping. I've never seen a Justin Tipping film before. Looks like he doesn't have a whole lot on his filmography in terms of directed features. But anyways, this is a big thing because it was produced by Jordan Peele, so it was going to have a lot of hype and stuff around it. After suffering a potentially career-ending brain trauma, Cameron Cade receives a lifeline when his hero, legendary 8-time championship quarterback and cultural megastar Isaiah White, offers to train Cam at Isaiah's isolated compound that he shares with his celebrity influencer wife. But as Cam's training accelerates, Isaiah's charisma begins to curdle into something darker. So, I'm sure looking at trailers for this film, you'd think, oh yeah, it's about what you'll give up to become famous. Not just in football, but in just entertainment, media, politics, the world. I'm sure you'd be able to take it outside of sports and put it into something else like politics or anything like that. What you'll give up to become famous, the best, or just to be put in a place of power like that. I'm sure that's exactly what the film was going for, and I'm sure that's what the trailers conveyed perfectly. But every time I saw a trailer for it, I thought, yeah, is that all there is to the film? Yeah, it was. The trailers just kind of fucking told you exactly what the film was. That's exactly it. And everything's just kind of on the nose in this film. I just wish there was a little more, I don't know, just not so on the nose shit. Because it tells you exactly what's going on, especially the ending. And it's supposed to be like the satisfying ending. But I'm thinking he's just kind of fucking both. He's like having his cake and eating it too, the main character. He's fucking playing into what he wants to be, while also at the same time like exacting revenge and, taking apart or fighting the system. So I really don't fucking get it. I just want to go through my review real quick that I wrote on Letterboxd. Let me just read it. I wanted to like this more. As more trailers for this film came out and the more that was revealed, I became less interested. I still checked this film out and I left not all too thrilled. I'm sure everyone guessed what the outcome of the film would be, but there are some interesting aspects to it. It's a great looking film with a lot of unique visual cues, but there are also some strange, surreal aspects that didn't seem to advance the plot and only further told us things we already knew, and they lasted far too long. The main leads were great, with Marlon Wayans being the obvious standout for a genuinely incredible performance, but Tyreek Wheeler stood his ground as well. I get what the film was going for, but I feel like we were told too many things, especially in the beginning with how great Cameron is, and just sort of usual sports jargon that seems like it was made for a television show about football with it being on the nose. So on the nose. The whole movie is on the nose, but I'm being nice here because I didn't hate the film. I think this could have benefited from another draft. Yeah, that's something I forgot as well. The beginning is like, oh, this Cameron kid, he's awesome at football. He's the GOAT. He's the best. We're just kind of told it. I would have liked to see. We're just kind of, he's just thrown out there. Yeah, he's the best. Okay, whatever. I know that would have taken more time. Oh yeah, the film's kind of slow. I would have liked for it to speed up a little quicker, especially with like knowing exactly what it's going for. Oh yeah, a lot of surreal aspects are just so fucking weird in this film. And I get it if it's to play into like the brain injury our character succumbs, or if it plays into like trauma or stress that goes into wanting to be the best. But it never really feels like it's meant for that. It just feels like it's, oh, here's something creepy we can throw in. So yeah, that was just kind of distracting and disappointing. I was being nice to the film because I saw so much negative shit about it and people were saying it was awful and bad and dumb. I just thought it was fine. Just I wanted more out of it. But yeah, I definitely think that some rewrites, some more drafts would have benefited this film a whole lot more. Something bigger, something more grand, something so not on the nose. Maybe lean more into the surreal shit. I don't know, like mind games and shit. Anyways, watch it if you want. It's nothing special. I'm giving it a C. It's fine. Like C or C plus. I don't know. I'm just not all too thrilled. I'm not what am I trying to say? I don't regret getting a ticket for this film, but it really didn't do all too much for me either. Then we got Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle. This film was fucking awesome. I loved it. So, a little background with Demon Slayer, my experience with Demon Slayer. Back in, I believe, 2021, when theaters started opening back up again, my sister wanted to go watch the Demon Slayer film, Demon Slayer Mugen Train. So I went with her. I saw her watch a few episodes here and there, my older sister. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's an anime, okay. Watching the film, the Demon Slayer Mugen Train, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking cool. So I have a review for that on my channel already. Go check it out if you want. But after that, I started watching the anime series Demon Slayer, and I thought it was fucking kick-ass. I loved it. Seasons 1, 2, 3, they're all great. I have my criticisms with them, such as how repetitive things can get, and how a lot of the sequences follow the same structure. But anyways, damn helicopter. But anyways, I watched season 4 before the movie Infinity Castle, and I thought, damn, I could have skipped all this except like the last episode or something. I still enjoyed season 4, but it's just, whatever, I guess. So with this, there's a little bit of context for the plot of the film, because the film cannot stand out on its own, because it's basically just the next season of Demon Slayer. What they're doing is that the Infinity arc, into the Infinity Castle arc in the manga, from what I'm told, I don't read the manga. It's going to be played out as a trilogy of films, which I think is cool. I like the idea of it, so we don't have to do like weekly waits for episodes whenever it takes to come out, because the animation in this film is fucking stunning, and it really boggles my mind with how much time they must have took to do this extremely detailed animation. But anyways, context for this film is that the Demon Slayer Corps, they get trapped in the Infinity Castle by the main villain Muzan Kibutsuji, who is basically like Michael Jackson. He looks like Michael Jackson. It's really funny. Anyways, he traps him in this Infinity Castle, like his world that he created. So they have to find a way to get out and kill Muzan Kibutsuji, who leads the demons, because their main goal is to kill the demons. And him most especially, because if they kill him, they kill all the demons, basically. So we follow like 3 different subgroups of characters in this film as they're in the Infinity Castle. We follow Tanjiro and Giyu as they fight one demon. We follow Zenitsu as he fights another demon. and then we follow Shinobu, I think is her name, while she fights another demon. They're fighting these upper rank demons who are like the hardest to kill because they're the most strong demons outside of Muzan. And the issue I have with the structure of this film is the editing in scenes in which we in the beginning we just follow the characters as they're fighting. We follow this subgroup of characters, then this other subgroup of characters, and then this other subgroup of characters until we focus entirely on one character fighting one demon for like maybe 20 minutes straight. And then we see a flashback of the demon or a character or that character or the human character in the past for a bit. Then we come back to the present, and then something happens, and then we move on to the next subgroup of humans fighting demons. Then we go on to the next. Then they do a flashback. Then they do another flashback for the human, another flashback for the demon. Then they fight. Then we move on to the next subgroup, so on and so forth. So it's kind of like that. And what irks me the most is how long these flashbacks could be. And it's sort of an issue I have with the show where it's very structured and they're very similar where, like, let's say a demon's about to die. We get like a long-winded flashback of the demon's past life and how they turned out to be the way they are. And it's very repetitive because you know what's going to happen. And although the stories are nice, I think sometimes they lasted a little too long, or maybe it's just because these three subgroups that we're following don't really relate to each other outside of, oh, they're fighting a demon. I just wanted there to be maybe more of a connective tissue between that, or maybe we cut between the fights a little more because we follow like a specific group for quite a while and then we cut to the other group fighting. And it really feels like we're just watching long episodes of the series rather than an entire movie. So that's my critique with this film, really, just the structure of it all, because outside of it, it's a damn well-made film. The music is kick-ass. The animation is, we're fucking at a point in animation where I don't know what further we can do after this, because it is fucking incredibly detailed with how fast and how brutal like these fight scenes are and how extremely detailed they are. It's fucking insane. I can't believe it. So I had a blast watching the Demon Slayer film. I loved it. I wanted to watch it again, but it's a very long film, clocking in at 2.5 hours. 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. Let me see. 2 hours and 35 minutes. It is a very long film, and you definitely feel it at times, especially and most especially in the final subgroup fight, because it goes on for a very long time, especially with that flashback that happens. It was a nice flashback. It was a nice moment, but I felt like it lasted a very long time. And maybe they could have shortened it up a bit, but that's just my critique. They're not going to change it. They're not going to change it. These movies are going to be the exact same thing, and I'm still going to watch them. I'm still going to love them because those fight scenes are awesome, and I love all these characters. I love their interactions with each other. And this is like the end game of the anime, I think, of the story. We're nearing the end, because I don't read the manga, so I don't know, but we're getting very close to the end. I had a blast with this film. I'm giving Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie a B+. Now let's move on to The Smashing Machine, directed by Benny Safdie, one of the Safdie brothers. It's the story of legendary mixed martial arts and UFC fighter Mark Kerr. Now, I don't know a whole lot about UFC. I watch some fights here and there. It's cool. I don't know a lot of the fighters personally. And I didn't know anything about Mark Kerr before this. So watching this film, I was very open to what it was about, to what the story was. And, for a while at first, I thought, oh, maybe it's just, a story that was brought up and The Rock said, no, but it's a real fucking story about a real fucking guy and The Rock's in it. And my biggest concern was, is The Rock going to pull off a good performance? Is this going to be like a big, ego thing, like I'm the Rock, I'm the best, I can't lose fights. Is going to carry that persona into it? Because we all know the Rock, he has a lot of charisma. He's very fun to watch. He has a great screen presence, but it seems like he plays the same role over and over again. This feels like a very much different role, and I very much enjoyed this film, especially because of Dwayne Johnson's performance. He fucking melts into this role. And this is something I've never seen from him before. I know a lot of people are probably going to say, oh, the Oscars are going to give him an Oscar because they've never seen him act before like this. And we're just surprised that he can act in general. No, I think if he gets nominated for a best acting performance, that it's well fucking earned because he's fucking stunning in this film. He has a sense of hopelessness in him that exudes like he wants to be the best, but with what happens in the film, you have to accept some things, and there's a lot of moments of him just sort of sitting still, you know, basking in what just happened, and it's fucking brutal. There's something about this film. There's like a hopelessness, brutality about this film that I really enjoyed. It's a fucking roller coaster of emotions. At one point, you're feeling like you're on top of the world, like everything's awesome, and the next moment, like everything just fucking sucks, and you're down to the dumps, and it feels like the whole world is fucking crashing. I found it kind of tough to get through, just because of those high highs, and when you hit those low lows, it's fucking devastating. It really is. I'm just gonna go over my Letterboxd review real quick. Yeah, it took a while for the film to actually get into like the main plot. I thought that maybe the first 20 minutes or so were interesting, but it didn't really feel like the beginning of this story. Once the character Mark Kerr gets to Japan for a fight, or like to discuss some things over there, then I think the film like starts to really get rolling. But I think those first 20 minutes or so are a little interesting and strange to get through, but like I said, once he gets to Japan, it gets more interesting. The film feels like there's a plot actually going on. What else can I say? I found the directing style very unique. The cinematography and the directing style of this film, it's sort of presented like a documentary-esque thing, like The Office, sort of like shows like that, where it's a handheld camera. We have like some zoom ins here and there. Sometimes it felt distracting, but I think the idea of it is to make it seem like you're an observer in this scene, and that it's just like a narrative structure, more so that like we're there seeing these events happen. So there are certain moments definitely where it feels like the camera's moving a little too much, that we're sort of just moving too much. But there's a lot of great moments where like we move to a still shot, and I'm like, okay, I'm really fucking invested in this scene right here. Something that stood out to me in this film are the diegetic sounds as well as the sound design. The diegetic sounds, if you don't know, it's sounds, music that takes place within the universe of the film. So like if someone's playing a song on their phone and we hear that, that's diegetic sound. If we're hearing the Avengers theme in the Avengers films, that's non-diegetic sounds. That's sounds that the characters in the film don't hear, but something that only we hear. So if a character is playing music on their iPod that in the film and they hear it, that's a diegetic sound. So I found the sound design, sound editing to be very interesting because there's a lot of things going on at the same time, characters talking with music playing in the background. And especially when the score kicks in or the soundtrack kicks in, and there's lots of layers happening at the same time, and you're able to take in everything, and it really feels like, along with the aesthetic of the handheld camera, of like being in the moment, it really feels like we're there, that we're in the scene, because we're not gonna hear music just suddenly soften in the background like it would in movie scenes, right? We're there. It's loud, it's playing, people are talking over it, the music's playing over people, stuff's happening when you're moving shit around. And the score or the soundtrack, non-diegetic music being played on top of it as well, just adds something more interesting and more jumbled into the film in an intentional way. That's something I really liked about the Smashing Machine. But overall, I really dug this film. Like I said, it's a roller coaster of emotions. One moment you're on top of the world, the next you're fucking devastated, and it feels like nothing's gonna go right. But there's something about this film, especially with The Rock's performance, that just really fucking sold me. I think this is an incredible film. It's one of my favorites of the year. I want to watch it again at some point. I'm not gonna rush to it, but I would definitely watch it once the Oscar seasons come around because I'm sure it's gonna get nominated, especially for Best Actor. But everyone does a great fucking job. Emily Blunt is great in the film. Ryan Bader plays Mark Coleman, Mark Kerr's friend in the film. I think he's also really damn good. Just a lot of great performances throughout the film. I think. I just think it's a really damn good movie, and there's something devastating about it, but also it's something that the characters have to accept in the film that makes it really brutal, and it's fucking devastating, like I said before. But no, I really enjoyed the film. I'm giving this film a B+. There's a lot of play here, and it's a whiplash in tone in a great way where I can feel inspiring one minute and devastating the next. I highly recommend the film. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I think The Smash Machine was a great film. Okay, next let's talk about Roofman, directed by Derek Cianfrance. Cianfrance. The only film I know of him that he's worked on is Blue Valentine as a director. And that's something I've wanted to check out for quite a while. I don't know why. It's just been on my list for a while. So anyways, if you don't know Roofman, he was this old person in like real life. This film's based on real life. This guy who would rob like fast food places, most notably McDonald's, through the roof. He'd break in through the roof, and he would tell them to open the safes. He'd get them in the freezer, make sure they have their jackets on so they stay warm in the freezer, take the money, and leave. And that's how he got rich. But he gets arrested, and he has to figure out what to do after he escapes prison. So he lives in a Toys R Us for quite a while. And this was something I remember back in like high school. I remember seeing like a story of this guy who would live in a Toys R Us and no one knew about it. And it was like this big thing that happened because he tried to break out of prison at some point, like 2017 or something. He tried to break out multiple times, and I thought it was an interesting premise. And when I saw that there was a movie about it, I thought, what are they really going to do about it? It's just going to be him fucking around in Toys R Us for a bit? But no, there's actually quite a strong emotional core to this film that I really didn't expect there to be. And again, here's an actor, Channing Tatum, who does certain roles, but I think he gives a pretty damn good performance in here. I think he's also a pretty damn good actor too. I've said that quite a few times, like Aubrey Plaza, The Rock, Channing Tatum. He gives a really damn good performance. There's a lot of great performances in here. Him as well as Kirsten Dunst. Also, Lakeith Stanfield's in the film, plays a really cool character. But no, I'm just going over my Letterboxd review real quick. The wacky antics of him hiding the Toys R Us are really funny, but the film couldn't just be that entirely. And I'm not entirely sure what in the film is real, what's Hollywood embellishment, what's Hollywood, haha, let's just add this in for whatever. But it doesn't matter to me because I don't know the whole story of the Roofman entirely, but I did very much enjoy the film. I think it's fun, has a lot of heartfelt moments in it because the Roofman character, what's his actual name? Jeffrey Manchester. He meets this character played by Kirsten Dunst, and he has to portray himself as like a successful, or as a guy with a job who doesn't live in a Toys R Us. And he's able to con his way basically into their lives, into Lee's life with her family. He steals from the Toys R Us. He donates stuff to charities. He lives in the Toys R Us. He has a bad diet because all he eats is sugar and shit when he's by himself. Yeah, it's a fun mixture of fun, goofy antics, but also like just like strangely resonant story about trying to find connection. But I'm not saying the film is extremely deep. It gets across what it wants to do, but there's humor, there's heart. It's a very fun watch. It's a very entertaining watch. I don't regret getting a ticket for this at all because I really liked it. There's a lot of great funny moments, but there's definitely a lot of heartfelt moments too. And with Christmas coming around, the story takes place around Christmas mainly. I think it's definitely going to be a pretty good Christmas watch, I think. I don't have a whole lot to say on this film. I just found it to be quite effective, surprisingly emotionally resonant at points. Great performances. Just a pretty fun watch. I'm giving this film a B. It's pretty effective. It's funny to say tragedy, as this is a story about a man who lives in a Toys R Us, but that's how effective I found the film to be. Yeah, there's a sort of tragedy to this film, especially when they talk about how this guy's story ends and how it's still going on. Well, yeah, I enjoyed it. Okay, okay, okay. You're not ready for this. I wasn't ready for this. But let's talk about One Battle After Another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Paul Thomas Anderson is a director who I don't have a lot of experience with. I've only seen Boogie Nights and Punch Drunk Love from him. I definitely want to check out his other films like There Will Be Blood, The Phantom Thread, Magnolia, Inherent Vice. There's a lot of films from him I still need to check out. But there was a lot of buzz around this film because it was being shot in VistaVision, which is a specific widescreen format that was used hella long ago and hasn't been really used since like the 60s. The Brutalist was filmed in VistaVision, but it wasn't presented in VistaVision. But this film was both shot and presented in VistaVision. And only 4 places on the entire planet were showing it in VistaVision. Thankfully, one of them was in Los Angeles, and thankfully, I saw it that way. Now, I would have loved to see this in 70mm IMAX on that gigantic fucking screen at the AMC City Walk, or hell, even the Chinese Theater. But I'm glad to have seen it at the VistaVision. It wasn't the biggest screen, but it was the exact intended way that this film was meant to be presented. And holy fuck, this film is fucking awesome. I think this is the best film of the year. This is one of the best films I've seen in my fucking life. It is incredible. The logline reads, when their evil nemesis resurfaces after 16 years, a band of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue the daughter of one of their own. Now, there's way more to the film than just that. Ex-revolutionaries fighting off an evil foe from their past. There is way fucking more to it than that. There's a lot of subtext. Hell, they fucking just blatantly tell you what's going on in the film. But they're not spoon-feeding you because you're stupid. They're telling you what's going on because some of it's a part of a joke, or some of it's just them saying, hey, this is kind of fucked up, Like shit that's actually happening in real life. Now, I'm not going to get into the politics of the film, like, are these characters doing the right thing, or are they assholes? Or are these characters doing the right thing, or are they assholes? And yada yada. I'm not going to get into that. I'm getting to the story that the film presented, the filmmaking, everything. Before I get into the plot, I want to talk about the filmmaking. Fucking perfect, okay? Everything from the look of the... Holy shit, this film looks incredible. There is not a single shot that looks out of place. Every fucking camera movement, every shot, angle, lighting setup, it's excellent, top-notch. I've never seen a better looking film than this in my life. Holy fuck. Who's the cinematographer of this film? I have to know. I have to see. Michael Bauman. What has he done? Just Licorice Pizza? And is that it? Looks like he's done lighting for a lot of other films. But just as a specific... As the cinematographer, looks like he's only done Licorice Pizza, and I'm not sure if it's an unreleased thing or something that just doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. Wow, this is an excellent looking film. Lighting all around is just stunning. I love the color palette of, a lot of these orange-esque, dark, tungsten light setups going on. Anything at night looks excellent. Anything in the day, when there's car chase sequences or hell, just people like fucking walking around and shit. Everything's fucking stunning. It has like a fun, grimy, dirty feel to it. That's what I love about this film. Just dirt, dirty, fucking nothing looks clean. Nothing looks super clean. And you know how I say, and I said in other videos, I miss the look of older films like shit, like Ferris Bueller or what fuck, Bachelor Party, older films like that. I miss the look of that. I'm not sure if it's like late film or early digital. I miss when films used to look like that. And films nowadays, they look so fucking boring, but also at the same time too clean and too hyper focused. It looks so distracting. But this film, where everything looks like it's in focus, so it has the feel of like an older film, but with the fresh coat of painting of it being new. Whereas everything's in fucking focus because of the talent behind the camera. So I never felt like I'm watching a stupid fucking Hallmark or fucking Netflix TV show or whatever, or some new whatever show. I never felt like I'm watching just a boring thing. I'm watching a piece of art made by a bunch of talented people. If you didn't know, part of this movie was filmed in Stockton, my home city, so that was really cool to see. I was able to see what specific scenes were shot in Stockton. I saw it and I went, holy fuck, that's my city. So that was really cool to see. Would have been nice to be there, but whatever. I think the score for this film is damn excellent. It's complex. It's fucking intense. There's a lot of great, beautiful moments in it, but there's something I love about complex scores with a lot of layers on it, like a John Williams or an Alan Silvestri or Alexander Desplat. There's something I love about a lot of shit happening at the same time, but you're able to like distinguish what these specific things are and like how different tempoed they are. But there's also something that's like so simple about it too. And with the score for this film, I think it's its own character. Like I've said this about certain films. My buddy told me that he made me realize that the score for Oppenheimer is its own character. So I think about that for certain scores that not only amplify but help the film in a way, whereas if it wasn't there, it wouldn't feel as impactful. And that's how I feel about this film. The score makes this film go from being excellent to being fucking excellent. It's that damn good. And I think this guy is going to get his fucking Oscar this year. I got a buddy of mine who says that the score for Sinners is better. I gave that a listen to. I still think the score for Sinners is great, but I think this is really fucking great. This guy has got the lock for a score without a fucking doubt. I actually think that this film's got a lock for a lot of Oscars. Best Picture, Director, Adapted Screenplay, Supporting Actor for Sean Penn. I'll get to him in a bit. Cinematography. Did I say score? If not, score. Fucking every technical thing, anything involving sound, lighting, it's all fucking top notch. And I really missed my opportunity to watch this again, because I saw one of the last showings for VistaVision in Los Angeles, but I met a few people there. We talked about the film for a bit, had a blast with it. I fucking love this film. Okay, let's talk about like the actual movie itself, like the plot. So there were ex-revolutionaries called the French 75. The French 75, who, they want to fight the system. They want to break out illegal immigrants who are being held in detainment camps. They want to rob banks and hurt like people who are profiting off of like exploitation or just bad people, right? But they're being hunted down by Sean Penn, who has this infatuation with one of the revolutionaries, portrayed by Tiana Taylor, Perfidia. So Sean Penn's character is Colonel Stephen Lockjaw. He is fucking crazy in this film. He is both silly but intimidating. Like he's a fucking monster, but he's also kind of goofy with like his fun mannerisms. And I don't want to say too much about the film, but I'm sure you know all about the film. Like if you've heard people talk about it, or if you've seen it, if you heard people talk about it, I'm sure you know what it's about. And people are gonna politicize this. They're gonna say, "Oh, it's this fucking garbage left wing movie because they're breaking out illegal immigrants and there." I think it makes fun of both right and the left. Like it makes fun of like there's a group in the film called the Christmas Adventurers Club that reminded me a lot about the Scientology shit in South Park, or the Super Adventurers Club. There's a group in this film, like a white nationalist group called the Christmas Adventurers Club. They say hail Saint Nick and shit. It's goofy, it's stupid. You're not supposed to take that seriously. But when you got people like Ben Shapiro, you know, who don't fucking get the point of the film, who even everyone in his comment section is like, Ben, what the fuck are you talking about? It's stupid and goofy. That's the whole point of the Christmas Adventurers Club, because it's a stupid name. It's just incredibly stupid, but it's fucking hysterical, and it's even more funny that Ben Shapiro just doesn't get it. I listened to someone talk about it, and I watched part of it, and it's really fucking weird. His review on the film. He doesn't even like talk about the film itself. He describes the plot and why it's bad because the people on the left are doing these awful stupid things and they're losers. But the people like the ex-revolutionary people, they're shown to have flaws. They're shown to not be good people. So the film isn't saying, yeah, the revolutionaries are the good guys. Like there's certain people that are portrayed as the good guy. No one's a good or a bad guy because it's a setting for the actual plot. It's about fatherhood and parenthood because Leonardo DiCaprio's character, the main character of the film, Bob, he's an ex-revolutionary character, but he has to save his daughter because Lockjaw is after her for reasons that you don't know, because they don't fucking say it in the plot of the film or anything, but he's after her and Leonardo DiCaprio's got to protect her and save her. And so a lot of the film is about what he has to go through to get to her. Because he's a fucking loser, he's a dope, and he's got to remember how to fucking get back into the revolutionary gang. And there's so much shit he has to go through, you know, being a bum and all. It's both funny and, you know, really fucking powerful to see because of what exactly he has to go through, what he has to accomplish to save his daughter. So the film's it's about like fatherhood and a parenthood, really family. It's about that. It's not about, oh, you're supposed to break out illegal immigrants from jail, or white nationalists are controlling the country and they call themselves the Christmas Adventurers Club. No, it's just all a setting to make the plot of Bob's rescuing his daughter much more important and impactful. So the film isn't saying that the government is evil and corrupt and holds fake ICE raids in order to accomplish other missions. It's not saying that you should break out illegal immigrants from detention camps. It's all a setting for the actual plot of the film. Okay? And that's not to say you can't take certain things out from them. But that's not all what the film is saying. That's definitely not the main thing it's saying. It's just there for the setting. Okay? Because every character is shown to be flawed, right or left, bad or good. You know? I just hate seeing that discourse online about it. Like, oh, this is a post Kamala Harris movie. I saw some fucking writer person say that. I'm like, what the fuck? There was never a Kamala Harris era to begin with, you dipshit. But so what the fuck is this? Like, it reeks of leftist garbage shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Enjoy the film. No one knows how to have fucking fun anymore. Go watch this film. It's fucking kick-ass. It's almost 3 hours long, but it is fucking awesome and worth every fucking second. I loved it. It's funny as hell. There's not action in the film, but there's a lot of cool set pieces with a lot of movement, a lot of characters moving around. I kid you not. There's probably a 20-minute, 30-minute sequence where the piece of the score is played over and over and over. I thought it was like one long piece of music. No, the score is like a few minutes long, but I guess they just fucking loop it over and over again. And it's involving Benicio del Toro's character, who plays a sensei in the film, at this dojo, and he's doing something to protect a group of people. And Bob's along with him for the ride, because he has to help him get out of the city too. Or he has to help him with his journey too. And this piece of music plays over and over, and the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, holy shit! Like, this is a really long sequence. Like, to map out this sequence, I think, was probably the most difficult thing of the film, because there's so much going on at play. You're able to follow it so cohesively. There's so much camera movement. There's so much storyboarding that has to go on. And there's more shit going on outside of the scene. So I think planning that, I would have loved being the fucking fly on the wall for that. To watch that sequence shoot out. To watch the director, lighting, fucking sound, everyone get in there, shoot that scene. Or the whole sequence, this 20 to 30 minute sequence. It's so fucking engaging. I loved it. What more can I say about this film? Really, it's a fucking blast. Everyone loves it. Most people, I have not heard like a person. I have not heard like seen an acquaintance who's seen this film who said they didn't like it. Everyone on Letterboxd who I follow all love it. It's at a 4.3 on Letterboxd. In the top 250 on Letterboxd, it's at 119 right now. It's stunning. It's incredible. It's like the fucking... I think it's the best movie of the year. I don't know if it's my favorite movie of the year. It might be my favorite movie of the year. It's up there with Mission Impossible and Eddington. Holy shit. But like this film is... I think it's fucking perfect. Okay? I've never seen anything like this film before. It's intense. It's emotional. It's funny. It never stops. There's always something new happening, and it's important to everything else in the film. Everything is so purposeful and intentful, and it's presented beautifully. I think this is an excellent film, one of the best films I've seen in my life, and I need to watch it over and over and over again. Once I see like a physical copy of it, I'm picking it up. I need this film. I need to watch it again. One battle after another. Most definitely gets an A+. Okay. We got to talk about a few more movies here. Let's talk about Tron Ares, directed by Joachim Ronning, who has directed... Okay. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tale, Maleficent 2, that one movie with Daisy Ridley, Young Woman in the Sea. Yeah, so I don't know a whole lot about this director, but he directed Tron Ares, which is about a highly sophisticated program called Ares, portrayed by Jared Leto, is sent from the digital world into the real world on a dangerous mission, marking humankind's first encounter with AI beings. So yeah, Jared Leto plays this. Oh yeah. Okay. Context here for Tron. I've never seen a Tron movie before. I've always wanted to. I just never got around to them. But I wanted to see this film because Nine Inch Nails, that has Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, were doing the score for this film. Like it was a big marketing push. Like Nin is doing the score for this film. Like okay, cool. I like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I feel like I knew they were a part of Nine Inch Nails, but I forgot. And when I kind of found out of a while before seeing them, I'm like, holy shit, that's them. But I felt like I knew before. Anyways, the things that everyone's praising is the score and the visuals for this film. I just wanted to go see some cool action and hear some cool score, and that's what I got. I got some good visuals, cool action, and a good score. Anything else outside of that? Not really, no. The story is very basic and simple. There's two people, a good guy and a bad guy. Good guy wants to use the Tron technology to make oranges so no one goes hungry in the world. Bad guy wants to use Tron technology to make weapons so they can make money. Ares is a Tron bad guy, but he's an AI, but he wants to be good, so he wants the permanence code, which is what makes things stay in from the Tron world to the real world, makes it stay, forever, so it doesn't disappear, because they can only last in the real world for like 29 minutes or something. An interesting concept. I didn't review this film on Letterboxd. Damn, I just logged it. Um, so there's an interesting concept, but I feel like a lot more could have been done to make this more impactful, because as it stands, it's just a an enjoyable movie to me. I definitely think it's good. I don't think it's bad, because the energy of the film is always up, and it's always fun and energetic, and the visuals are of course stunning, but outside of that and the score, it's just not special. There are a lot of cool scenes in it that I like. I really don't think that if I've watched the other Tron films, it would have enhanced my experience of this more, because I think it does enough, I think, to stand out on its own. I never felt lost, because they kind of talk about the other films in this too, like, oh, here's this person that did this in the past, and this is what they wanted to do. Um, Fuck, there really isn't a whole lot to say on this. Just, I don't think this director was able to get good performances out of these actors. Like, I don't think it's the actor's fault. Like, these actors, especially Greta Lee, she's done some great shit in the past. Or, fuck me, great shit in the past. Past lives. She was great in Past Lives. Like, I think she was fucking excellent in that film. She should have got a fucking Oscar nom for that performance. But in here, she's just kind of there. I didn't get a whole lot from her. And Jared Leto as Ares, I don't know what to say. He's just there. He definitely has lead man energy to him, but he fucking plays an AI, so he's just kind of an AI guy. No emotion to him, really. I don't know what the fuck am I supposed to say. Um, he's definitely not bad in the movie, but I feel like the story could have benefited more with a lot more shit. Because in the beginning of the film, we see like Ares get built up to be killed, and built up again to be killed over and over and over again, so he could become like the perfect AI war machine, whatever. But we never see like it taking a toll on the Ares character itself. It's just like he looks at sad messages from the good character and goes, "Oh, I want to become a permanent. I want to become permanent in the real world now, or I want to get the permanence code for myself." That's it. Not like he's been abused so much he wants to fight back against his creators. Not like that. No, he just looks at some sad messages. So I don't know. It's the story definitely could have had more work done to it. But as it stands, it's a perfectly enjoyable film. Great visuals. Like, I think the special effects are fucking stunning. They're excellent. And there's definitely some cool fight sequences, and the bike chase sequences are great. And the score, of course, is awesome. I've listened to it quite a bit since its release, or since I've seen the film, at least. But it's just a very okay, enjoyable film. I'm giving it a B minus because I liked it. I didn't hate it. There's not a lot I really dislike about it, because it's just an enjoyable time, but could have been so much better, so much more impactful. But yeah, whatever. I'm sure there's more I could say on it, but I really don't have a whole lot to say on it at the moment. Okay, now let's talk about Shelby Oaks, directed by Chris Stuckman. If you don't know who Chris Stuckman is, he's a YouTuber who has made his own films, as in, growing up, he made his own like short films with his friends and whatnot. And he reviews movies. He's a movie reviewer on YouTube. And he's certainly most not the first YouTuber to make a film. There's definitely like the Smosh movie and the Logan Paul. He made Airplane Mode. And more recently, and you know, the best examples of YouTubers making films, the Filippo brothers, Danny and Michael Filippo, who are Raka Raka on YouTube, who went from comedy to making, like, to my knowledge, comedy, mainly comedy shit, to making horror, like extremely fucked up horror, and it's awesome. But with Chris Stuckman, I followed him for about 10 years at this point, reviewing movies, talking about why he loves film, and I've definitely learned a lot from him. He definitely, a buddy of mine showed me him, and he definitely introduced me to like the more film critic side of me. Like, it made me look at film differently as I was starting my journey in film. And he fucking made a movie. He had a crowdfunder to raise money so he can make a fucking film, and he did it. He got it in theaters. Like that's awesome, right? Not just like a guy who just solely made content on YouTube, like skits and whatever, or like he made short films. No, he fucking reviewed movies mainly on his YouTube channel and talked about like movie discussion topics and stuff. And he did it. He made his own fucking horror film. So it's a fucking indie film in theaters, and it's doing pretty good. It has like $4.5 million at the box office off of like a $2 million budget. Neon picked it up, thankfully, so it was able to get like that wide release. And like, it's funny that is the big story. Like, that's what people are more talking about more so than the actual film itself. Because I think the film is actually good. Let's talk about the film for a bit. Uh, let's read the logline. A woman's obsessive search for her missing sister leads her into a terrifying mystery at the hands of an unknown evil. So, Shelby Oaks. What did I like about it? I think it's actually kind of scary. Um, there are some cliches here and there, like jump scares and like characters leaving certain things behind or going to certain places maybe they shouldn't go be going to at a specific time. But there were definitely a lot of moments where I was watching the screen, it's quiet, and I'm thinking, fuck, someone's gonna pop out right now. I'm not like, I was really like, am I gonna be a little baby and close my eyes right now because I don't want to get jump scared? And I think Chris Stuckman can definitely build up suspense in that way. And yeah, sometimes it's a jump scare, like with a not really like a loud piece of music, more so just like a loud noise that the thing that makes a jump scare does. I'm not gonna say exactly what it is if you haven't seen it, because a lot of people haven't seen this movie. It's only made $4 million, but Chris Stuckman can definitely make these suspenseful moments of setting the scene, long sequences happening, and you get in your mind that, oh fuck, something's gonna happen, some fucking scary's gonna happen, because these scenes are well lit. It's definitely got the fucking look of a horror film, and fuck, I was ready for some like extremely fucked up shit. Unfortunately, there wasn't really a whole lot of like fucked up shit, because that's what the film seemed like it was going for, like with these tense moments. But what I got, I was satisfied with. It definitely reminded me a lot of Hereditary, not in how fucked up it was, but more so the sense of not fate, more so like with a story, more so like an unescapable feeling, more so like things have already been set in place. More specifically with the ending. Um, that's what I felt about. I was really thinking a lot about Hereditary in that moment. What else can I say? I think the film looks really damn good. For a film made for $2 million, basically, it looks pretty damn good. There are some moments where I thought maybe the composition could have been a little better, or maybe we shouldn't have been so still. But there are definitely other moments where I'm like, okay, I like the camera movements here. There's there's something interesting about the film too. The structure of this film. The first maybe 20 minutes or so are very different from the rest of the film. I'm not gonna say exactly what it is, like how the structure is different, like what the first 20 minutes does different from the rest of the film. But I was thinking, oh, is this gonna be what the film entirely is? And then we get like some weird B-roll footage interspliced in this specific first 20 minutes. I thought a little out of place considering what the rest of the film looks like. And then we get into the rest of the film after the first 20 minutes of it. I said, okay, that's what this looks like, but it doesn't really feel all too like what the first 20 minutes were going for. Like it just seemed kind of distracting, but whatever. Sorry if that was like a weird ramble, but I just don't want to spoil what the film is going for, especially with what those first 20 minutes are. Um yeah. There's definitely some good performances in here. I thought some performances could have been a little more striking. Could have been a little more not convincing, but more so I just wanted more out of it. And I wanted more out of the story too. Because I definitely get what it was going for. I was definitely intrigued by the concept. And I didn't expect the film to go the way it did. But I still feel like I wanted a little bit more. The film flies by pretty quickly. It's how long? 91 minutes, an hour and a half. So the film fucking zooms. But I feel like I wanted more, really. Not more explanation. Well, yeah, a little more explanation, especially with the ending stuff. Not just more explanation, maybe just more of a setting, more of a foundation for that. I guess. This is a film I really want to watch again. I'm not sure if I will because there's other movies I really want to watch right now, but he fucking did it. He made a movie. I'm really happy for that. But I feel like my enjoyment of the film overshadows like some minor critiques I have with it, like some cliches and like some slow moments or just me wanting like different composition in certain scenes. But I still found this film to be pretty effective. It was definitely creepy at points, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a good horror film, and that's what I got. So I'm giving Shelby Oaks a B. I liked it quite a bit, and I want to watch it again. And you know what? I got Stuckmanized. If you don't know, Chris Stuckman had his at the end of his video he goes and gets Stuckmanized. Like, be sure to subscribe, click here, shabba and get Stuckmanized. So I definitely got Stuckmanized. Yeah, that's. I saw Chris Stuckman direct a film, put out into theaters. Holy fuck! I still can't believe it. It's awesome. Okay, we got one last film to talk about. This is Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze arc, directed by Tatsuya Yoshihara. So, Chainsaw Man is an anime series based on the manga Chainsaw Man, and I watched the first season when it aired initially, and I haven't revisited it since. I would like to. Maybe I'd like to watch those like those little movie things that they made where it's a more concise narrative rather than just episode. They compile a few episodes together, cut out some fluff here and there. Maybe I'd like to watch that again. I think I definitely needed that because I forgot certain characters and whatnot. But if you don't know, Chainsaw Man is about a world where there are devils, and certain devils are the embodiment of things, like the chainsaw devil. It's a little dog with a chainsaw face. So our main character Denji fuses with the chainsaw devil to become Chainsaw Man. He pulls his cord on his chest, chainsaws rip from his arms, and his head turns into like a cool helmet with teeth, and a chainsaw fucking shoots out of his forehead. And he joins his team to fight other devils, and their main goal is to take down the gun devil. And the devils are powered by how much people are scared of said devil. So there's a lot of devils, like the Future Devil, Chainsaw Devil. There are certain characters called fiends, I think they are, where they're like half human, half devil thing. Um, so with with the Chainsaw Man series, we could get episode by episode. Denji fights another devil thing or something, and with this film Reze arc, he meets this girl named Reze, who is eventually shown to be the bomb devil, and she's after Chainsaw Man's heart. So it's a lot of action sequences of Chainsaw Man and this new fiend who is a shark fiend fighting off against the bomb devil. And it's fucking rad. I just can't believe that I've been seeing a lot of anime films in theaters, like re-releases and stuff, and then seeing new anime films in theaters like this, like not Ghibli stuff, not like mainline movie shit. These are movies that are just like series. And I know there's other movies that are part of anime series. Like there's a lot of Naruto movies, and I think those can stand better on their own because with Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer, especially with these movies, you need a lot of context because otherwise they're just it's an arc. That's what these are. They're just arcs that feel like they would be in the show. And with this film, I'm not sure if I'd like it more as the movie portrayed it to be, or if I'd like it better as a show, as like an arc in a show, because we would have probably gotten a little more fluff here and there to pad out time, because this is essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish episodes in length, but I feel like we would have gotten a little more development, I think. I'm just not sure because I don't know I don't know how the arc goes in the manga because I don't read the manga. I only watch the anime. But I still enjoyed the film overall. It's really fun. I like a lot of what it was going for. I'm just not sure I'm a fan of the first act, or at least until I'm just I don't I'm sure I'm just not sure if I'm a fan of the film until like once the bomb devil appears. Like yeah, Reze is in the film, but once like the bomb devil, like her bomb devil persona is introduced, then I think the film really starts getting good. Mainly, I think it's just because the first act of the film doesn't really seem all too important to the rest of the film. At least like the sequence where Denji and Makima go on like a date and they just watch movies. I'm thinking, what is this really serving? Like to the narrative, that being the bomb devil arc. I get it that it's showing like Makima is someone that Denji pines over, but he doesn't really and like I get it because it's introduced like when Reze comes in, he goes, "Oh my god, it's this other girl that I like, and but I like Makima. What am I supposed to do? Who do I like? Who am I supposed to like?" So I get if it's introduced there to be like a sort of block for Denji, thinking, "Who am I supposed to like? Am I gonna betray Makima because I like Reze now?" But other than that, like it, I don't know. I feel like we could have done without that. And then there's the story. There's like a subplot involving a fiend and fuck, what's his name? I really can't remember his name. Aki. Yeah, there's a character named Aki with a sword. Really cool guy. And there's this arc, and there's a subplot with him and this fiend who's like an angel devil guy. And I'm just not sure. Like, I like those scenes and those moments together. I'm just not sure that we should have spent so much time on that because it didn't really feel like there was a lot of connection between that and like Denji's plot. And more so with Denji in like that first act too. He spends a lot of time with this character Reze, and I like those moments together. And it does, like those moments of them hanging out together, do mean more to the rest of the film because she's trying to get attached to Denji before she can take his Chainsaw Man heart and give it to the Gun Devil. But I feel like we needed more explanation as to why everyone's after Denji's Chainsaw Man heart, because it's just, oh, we're after his heart. Why? We don't know why. Yeah, they want to give it to the gun devil, they say, but what does that really mean to everyone else? Why is that so important to the film? So I feel like we could have gotten more of that, and I'm sure they explain it more in the manga. But in terms of this film presentation, they didn't seem all too strong. But like I said, once the film gets to the bomb devil stuff, once the action starts happening, then the film gets really fucking cool. Because then it's just non-stop balls to the wall, over the top action where Chainsaw Man, he rides a fucking shark on typhoon waves as they're trying to kill this typhoon devil. And it's fucking cool. And he's shooting chains out of his arms to fucking Spider-Man swing on fucking buildings, trying to escape from the bomb devil, who can she pulls a pin out of her neck and explodes and becomes the bomb devil. Like her face becomes like a cool fucking torpedo shell, and she can fucking shoot explosions out of people. Like, I love over the top action shit like this. It's really fucking cool. It's awesome. I just wish the narrative was a little more strong for this film. But like I said with like Shelby Oaks, I think my enjoyment of the film kind of overshadows like my critiques with it, because holy shit, this action is really fun. Sometimes it feels like it's a little too much on the screen. Maybe it's because I haven't seen the Chainsaw Man anime in a while. I forgot how wacky and crazy it can get. Because there's a lot of moments of just like that, a bunch of shit happening on screen. And I think it's the art style too of Chainsaw Man. It looks more jagged, whereas like Demon Slayer looks way more fucking smooth and detailed. And that's not to say that the animation isn't good in Chainsaw Man. No, it's fucking incredible and extremely detailed, but it's a little more jagged. So it might be a little more hard to follow, especially with how much shit's going on the screen. But I still think it's really fucking cool and kick-ass. And I was talking to a friend of mine. We were discussing our critiques with it and what we liked about it. He didn't like it so much. He more so said he wished he liked it more because he likes the arc in the manga. But I was telling him there's like a tragedy to this film that I really like, especially with the ending. More so like a hopelessness that I really like. That really capped off this film for me for being really fucking cool. And it makes me wish that it was like just part of the series of episodes, because maybe there could have been more done to it, because it just seems like the film just kind of ended. Whereas I feel like if this was part of the show, there would have been a little more to it. But overall, I still really loved this movie. I'd really like to watch it again. I see that there's 4 DX showings, and I'm fucking intrigued as to how that would go. Especially with how much shit's going on screen. They're being thrown around and shit, and dust and water, whatever. I'm really intrigued with that. I don't know if I'll do it. It just seems kind of fun. But anyways, I really like this film. I'd definitely like to watch it again because it was really fun, action-packed. Some really cool moments. And like I said, there's like a strange tragedy to it that I really liked about it at the end of the film. So a sort of hopelessness. Like, it's tragic. It's brutal. But anyways, I'm giving Chainsaw Man, the movie, Reze arc, a B+. Just the same as I did with Demon Slayer. I enjoyed it just as much as Demon Slayer. Just really damn good, fun film. Okay. That was a lot. I got through all those films I've been wanting to talk about for a very long time, but I'm glad I did. And I hope this isn't too long, but I hope you were able to enjoy this video of me talking about movies as I always do. So, did you like any of the films I've talked about? Do you know if there's any friends you have that want to hear my thoughts on any of these films that I've talked about? Share it with some friends. Tell me what you thought about the films in the comments below. Did you agree with me? Did you disagree with me? Is there anything I might have missed in these films that you saw? Or did I make you see something that you didn't see in these films? So let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and I'll be back with more enjoyable content like this. So yeah, bye.